Hello, my name is Caesar J, and what's up? My name is Caesar J, and welcome back to the Caesar J channel. This is part 2 of the Huawei / Huawei Ban and the altercations that came out of the news over the past week, if not around about 2 weeks, since this ban started around about the 20th of the previous month, of which this month is June and last month is May. But anyway, just to get straight to the nitty-gritty stuff, during the course of this whole ban, there have been news that have been developing and actually coming out where this ban is actually getting deeper than what deep is, due to the mere fact that, wow, it seems to be that this is a 5G race. What type of race? Well, seems to be a money race. When 4G was brought into place, which was 2008, if I stand to be corrected, around about 2008, the money that was generated from that was close to around about 100 billion US dollars. And now with the stakes having to be increased due to our growth in terms of economical income, it seems like Trump has done all of this because he thinks, or he feels like, he can actually bring up more than 3 million jobs that can be created from this ban, and on top of that, an increase of 500 billion US dollars in GDP to the US if they strip China from actually allowing or bringing Huawei as the main, infrastructure of 5G. That is very deep actually. 500 billion US dollars up for grabs, pretty much. Estimated, because it could be less, it could be more. It could even actually be $1 trillion US dollars. You could never know. Just depending on how these banks and corporate companies and hardware companies and suppliers actually play this, and how they want to make their money, and how they feel like our product is more valuable than others. And wow, but 500 billion US dollars. And it seems like what has actually come out from the Japanese SoftBank, it seems like they have actually decided to actually bring up Nokia, however you want to pronounce it, which is something, as us South Africans, we best know it as brick stainer, the one you can just drop and keep dropping and keep dropping and it won't break. I'm pretty sure if I had one, actually one of my boys does have one, should have had it. But anyway, it seems like they've chosen to take Nokia and Ericsson as the two companies that they will actually like to work with in terms of bringing 5G up into the market. And this was documented by The Verge, and I'll have the links of all these different things that I'm actually getting down in the description box right there. So don't worry, I got you. But they've chosen them, and you might ask yourself, why Nokia and why Ericsson? Well, back, was it 20, not entirely sure when, but back then what has actually happened is that they actually found out that with the tender situation that happens, that companies actually bring up forward and say that we've got the basic knowledge and so on. I actually found an article that is basically stating, inverted commas, based on the results of China's 5G trial last year and the channel checks, 5G equipment from Huawei and ZTE performed the best, followed by those of Ericsson and Nokia. Now, that should answer the question on why they're choosing Nokia and Ericsson as the providers, since Huawei has been banned in the US. And that is just the beginning. It's actually deeper than that, because pretty much with this whole ban, ARM has also banned China from actually doing anything with them also. Sorry about that. Sometimes you just gotta do these. They've actually banned them also, and the problem that comes into play with that is due to the mere fact that ARM is the main company that has created the architecture. Pretty much, like if we bring it into architecture, they're the ones that design the structural integrity of an item. They design how someone should build something and in which order and in which flow they should use. So that is just one way just to give an analogy of how exactly this is actually a huge thing. And with the ARM band and the architecture actually being used with Intel processors, and Intel also banning Huawei to use their product or sell any of their chips to Huawei, it basically means that the Huawei laptops have been pulverized. Is that even a good word? Well, Huawei laptops, like the MateBook, pretty much we can say goodbye to it currently with this ban being upheld. And it's pretty sad because the architecture in actual fact is also being used regardless of your quad core or the new CPUs that Huawei was saying that they're going to use, even the ones within their own phones. They use the same / similar architecture, and having to go back to the drawing board and building your own architecture, it seems like China is possible. China is capable of doing it. China is very capable of doing it, and now the problem with that is due to the mere fact that they are capable, they can do it rapidly, but the amount of money that has to be put into it is drastic, 1. 2, that means me as being a developer myself, meaning application developer, I have to learn the new architecture and the new flow of how these CPUs work in order for me to build applications for Huawei too. And Huawei needs this because these apps that are on the market that people have become common to and use as a everyday life item, WhatsApp, YouTube, Instagram, that basically means that every single corporate company needs to go back to the drawing board, understand the architecture, invest time just to develop new applications for their market. That is a big thing due to the mere fact that that is a lot of money, and there are other smartphone providers that people can switch to. Now this puts Huawei in a very, very, very tragic seat. And it's all good and well and possible. I mean, nothing's impossible when it comes to China. But it's going to be hard for them to get it done because, I mean, there are other companies that have actually tried it. Look at Windows, for example, where Windows actually made and developed their Windows Mobile OS. Look at Samsung. Samsung developed the Tizen, which is actually being used on their smartwatches. But that is not something that everyone uses. It's not a smartphone. It's not something that we use as our common item. Now, it's very simple for them to have done because now, don't forget, they didn't need to restructure or rebuild the architecture. All they had to do was build an operating system on the same architecture. Now, what would I say China should do? Maybe they should sue the US, and they might do that. I'm pretty much sure they're going to do that. And this is going to bring a lot more to the table. But as this unfolds and develops and we see where everything is going and what is actually happening, all we can do is just let time tell. But this was just a quick summary to just let you guys catch up and actually see, okay, this is the stuff that have developed. And please do make sure that you please do subscribe, like, follow, like, welcome to the family. Like, please do the most. And I guess that is it. My name is Teqrunch. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell sign so you know whenever I release a video. But other than that, it's very tragic. Will we be seeing Huawei in the next 5 years? Or no? Peace.